Ahoy there game fans, welcome once again to Super Start Select, the family-sized Start Select show that says, hello, your weekend is nearly here, just hang on in there. Come on buddy, you can do this.
This week just gone was the calm in the eye of the storm, in that it was the week squeezed between the whirling maelstrom of last weekend's London Comic-Con and next week's international games industry bun fight, E3.
Accordingly, I've spent the last 5 days in rigorous training for the grueling physical challenge ahead.
And I've been packing for the grueling mental challenge ahead.
But it's not all been hard work. The lovely people at Aperture Science loaned us one handheld portal device.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, you put the other portal on top of the GameSpot trampoline, right?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Okay, here I go. Woohoo!
So that was our week, and here is our show, in which there's news of the next Gears of War. Also, that new Star Wars game gets announced, as does Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2.
After that, there's a heaping helping of your comments in the feedback section before we scamper away once again. Start Select begins right now.
First and briefly, there is a new Gears of War game on the way. US magazine Game Informer has been flaunting its next cover, in which we see the following.
It's a brawny necklace silhouette that may or may not be that of Delta Squad bro Marcus Phoenix, though the glowing handcuffs at the bottom of the image raises two questions. One, is this a sequel set around Marcus's years of incarceration before the events of the first game? And two, why would handcuffs glow?
At this stage, we're not even sure who the developer is. It might be the usual Gears of War folks at Epic, or might be the studio behind last year's Bulletstorm, that is People Can Fly, which is owned by Epic. In support of the latter theory is the fact People Can Fly's creative director tweeted the following, as spotted by Giant Bomb.
That's the entirety of the official revelation so far, but you can expect much more on the game from Microsoft's E3 conference on Monday, which we will also be covering in Start Select.
Secondly, LucasArts has lifted the lid just a little bit on its brand new grown-up Star Wars title, as mentioned in Start Select on Monday. It's called Star Wars 1313. There's not a great deal to show you just yet, so here's our one screenshot. Enjoy. Star Wars 1313 is a third-person action-adventure in which you will play a bounty hunter in the underground metropolis level 1313, which lays below the surface of the planet Coruscant. Here's the planet of Coruscant, by the way, as featured in Star Wars The Old Republic. In 1313, you'll use exotic weapons and gizmos rather than force powers and Jedi mind tricks, so there's cover-based fighting, platforming and, quote, playable cinematic gameplay.
Playable gameplay! Now we're talking.
Sure. And this slight reveal, which comes via Game Trailer's pre-E3 show, will be followed up at next week's E3 with something more substantial. Look out for that then.
Finally, a sequel to Castlevania Lords of Shadow is in the works, confirms publisher Konami at its pre-E3 press briefing. It's in the hands of Mercury Steam, the same Spanish studio that brought us the last one in 2010, and is likewise set for Xbox 360 and PS3. The announcement trailer shows the hero of the last game, Gabriel Belmont, chillaxing in his castle. But look, oh man, there's an army at the gates, so he's got to break out his flight form and his magic red whip powers before vamping out and having a nibble on this one guy. Also, there's a giant robot golem.
As with so much news today, it's all about priming the hype engine ahead of, that's right, E3 next week. So we're told to watch out for more on the simply titled Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 on June 5th, the first day of the show. Time now for the interactive portion of our show, in which we chew through your comments like so much delicious gum.
The first of our two topics du jour features intergalactic mega soldier Spartan John 117, aka Master Chief. Earlier in the week, our most bearded colleague, Johnny, brought you news of a Halo 4 gameplay leak, complete with overexposed shaky cam, filming on an old CRT screen on VHS.
You could almost smell the pixels, so great was the video quality, though some of you out there weren't best pleased with how the gameplay appears to have changed since the fight was finished. Game spotter Yuri Y amongst them. I realised this looked like Call of Duty the first second I saw it. It makes me so mad. Stop making games that look like COD. I have COD that I can just play instead, sad wink.
But standing in defense of the maybe leak, GameSpot user Varenti believes this is all part of 343 Industries' greater master plan for world domination. Actually not a bad strategy for a teaser, I mean leak. No one would be playing it on that old tech who has access to the build, so we can assume that this leak was just meant to wet the whistle for E3 without actually giving away what they're bringing to E3. All in all, I'd say that's a good bit of chess. It's called gunning, Varenti, not chess.
And that's some interesting theory you've got there. We'll have to see what comes out of E3 before we can support your claim in any official capacity. Before then, we have another comment on the matter by Platinum Paladin, who's surprised by the visuals, but not in the usual way. To get the Halo 4 leak, I'm more blown away that there's still a working CRT telly out there. This video looks like some sort of kidnap and ransom video.
That's not what a ransom video looks like. This is what a ransom video looks like. Second on the pile of comments this week concerns yesterday's Mark Walton flavoured episode of Start Select. In it, our spiky-haired colleague reveals that, according to the Wall Street Journal, the PS4 will be landing sometime next year. Master Chief's loaf-loving cousin Sliced Bread 117 commented, I think holiday 2013 is a good time for both the PS4 and the next Xbox to be released, seeing how it will mark the 7 and 8 year mark for both consoles respectively. 2014 wouldn't surprise me either though.
User Sunsyman, however, is having a hard time getting excited about the next Sony console. When the PS3 came out, it was a next-gen console. The ability of the machine was totally different to the PS2, PSN, wireless controllers, decent amount of online multiplayer, hard drive save system, DX9 graphics, but it feels that the PS4 will be just a PS3 but with a higher DX level. Doesn't excite me at all to hear this news. If they don't do something special, then I don't see the point to spend £600 plus on this system, and it feels that the PS3 never really lived up to expectations, is almost like it's still maturing. Seb, why did you put this comment in here?
And finally, commenter and genuine psychic Sly Catch simply says, I'm not seeing PS4 in a near future.
That's quite a gift you've got there, Sly Catch. However, my own psychic superpowers tell me that the PS4 will definitely be released within 2 weeks of a full moon. Also that I'll soon come into a great fortune.
All right, no more picking our lunches out of the office bins for us. And that's all we have time for once more, Game Spotters, but don't forget about us, okay?
We will be back on Monday, coming at you directly from Los Angeles, reporting back from a little games industry expo. You may have heard of it, called E3.
You can find our E3 Start Selects in the Start Select usual place. Until then, so long. It's a brawny necklace silhouette that may or may not be that of Delta Squad bro Marcus Phoenix through the glowing handcuffs at the bottom of the image
So it was though.
Not through. Doing better than I thought I would be though.
Doing great.
Yeah.
We will be back on Monday, coming at you directly from Los Angeles, reporting back from a little games industry expo. You may have heard of it, called E3.
E3!
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 E3!